Hello there everybody, Sabananai2 aka Nightmare, and welcome back to Rose Guns Day Season 3. In the last episode, we learned a little bit more about Gabriel's plan, who wants to dye his hands in the blood of evil. And we had ourselves, realistically, it was just one of the cutest moments involving Keith, Stella, Richard, and little Yuji. That was so adorable. We haven't seen anything yet concerning Alan and Meishu, so I'm kind of wondering if we're going to be tackling that. Though, admittedly, I'm considerably more worried about Gabriel. So let's throw ourselves in. Oh, speak of the devil. Oh, the young lord!
Hey there, Meishu. Are you not feeling well? Young lord. You look sad. It's such a waste with a beautiful face like yours.
Hey, she's taken, dude.
Please forgive me. I was, just thinking. I saw you wear that expression twice, back on campus. Oh, is that so? In other words, you must have said something that wasn't in your heart to someone close to you.
Shilong or Zilong. The young lord silently pulled out a chair and sat down. He did it in a graceful manner, one which made the simple act of sitting in a chair seem refined. The two of them had been school friends at college in England, where they had been studying overseas. Oh! Later on, they had become estranged when Meishu found out that her brother had become a GDS exec, with Zilong the son of his leader. Meishu despised members of the criminal underworld, so when she discovered this, she said more to Zilong than she meant. Zilong hadn't let it worry him, but for a while, Meishu had been regretful and gloomy. That was the first time Meishu had worn the expression she was wearing now. The second time was when she broke up with her English boyfriend. They first hit it off while having candid, direct discussions together, and they'd grown more and more frank with each other as they got closer. However, they took it a bit too far. Their usual fiery debates sometimes sparked the wrath of the other. Meishu had mistakenly thought of a lover as someone with whom you could share your undulated thoughts and opinions. That was why, when she had met Alan, she decided to hold back a little for his sake. However, she was now wearing that same sad expression a third time. Oof. She never meant for it to happen like that. She should have known that it was the ultimate taboo to try and form a common understanding between members of victor and defeated nations less than 5 years after the war.
Young lord, you are wise, so I'm sure you could think of a good way to handle this. Are you asking me for advice? What could it be? But if you are still in love, I'm sure it's something that will resolve itself with time.
Zilong answered before even being asked. He must have realized that even forcing her to ask would embarrass her.
Thank you very much, but that's not my question. Sorry, I made a mistake. So what is your question? How would it be possible for the Chinese and the Japanese to get along? That happens to be the same problem that's troubling me now.
Zilong smiled faintly, slowly rose to his feet, and gazed out the window.
This City 23 Distribution Association that Primavera is planning. To have that advance in a manner favorable to us, it is essential that we form a deeper bonds of friendship with the Japanese than the Americans have. In this situation, I believe you would do best using that of the 36 stratagems. Point at the mulberry tree while cursing the locust tree. And what's that mean? Simply put, you criticize a third party while explaining why the one you're speaking to is better than this outside group. In that way, you play to their pride while also making them reconsider their own faults. In my case, I might criticize American discrimination against Asians, while pointing out how much better the Japanese are in that regard, strengthening our relations. In your case, no. I'm sure neither I nor he would feel good to hear you abusing someone who isn't there. Yeah. I don't think I'd be comfortable with that sort of thing myself. Then perhaps you could use another one of the 36 stratagems. Feign madness, but keep your balance. What's that mean? It means managing your opponent by trying to appear foolish and unconcerned. In the first place, are China-Japan relations such a vital part of your relationship with him? Couldn't you just continue your relationship as two human beings without bringing up the problem or thinking about your respective nationalities?
I mean, realistically, relationships shouldn't be held back by such things, you know?
I'm not talking about fooling each other or pretending the issue doesn't exist. Isn't there some way for us to truly understand each other? Not even a decade has passed since we and the Japanese took part in the most gruesome war in human history. There must be plenty of people on both sides who can't forgive the other, and I think that's perfectly natural. Even if he doesn't accept you, that isn't his fault. It just means we met each other too soon.
It might take 10 years, 20 years, or maybe 100 or 1,000. Neither of them was at fault, nor was anything else. They were just living in the wrong era.
Yeah. Neither of you two is to blame. It's because you're in an unfortunate era.
Meishu hung her head and moaned softly, but she violently shook it off. Even those red, tear-stained eyes held a determination typical of her.
If it's a problem of time and era, and not anything wrong with one of us, then I've just got to give it a shot and see what happens. Yeah, there aren't any bad people among us or them. It's just a question of whether the time has come, in the heart of each individual, to reconnect. If it doesn't work, it just means your internal hourglasses are different. Maybe it's a good time to take a look into those hourglasses. Even if they don't match up, that doesn't imply a fault in the other's personality. It just means both sides live in different eras. Thanks, young lord.
Hey, thank you for that, dude.
It's not like me to let something like this get me down. I'm being so dumb.
Meishu rose energetically, trying to lift her spirits.
I'm always cheering you on. Good luck. I'm going to go give it a shot. Tell brother I'll murder him if he follows me. Sure. I'll give the order.
Oh my god. Meishu dashed out. She was so bright it was hard to imagine she had been hanging her head and sobbing just seconds ago. Give it a shot. If that doesn't work, just give up on it.
I'm Chinese, you Japanese bastard. I'll have a solemn Japanese-style New Year on January 1st, so let me go wild Chinese-style on the Chinese New Year. I worked hard to learn Japanese after all. So you'd better learn Chinese, Alan.
Meishu was sure that this sort of youthful, no-regrets, honorable defeat was the only jumpstart that could bridge the gap between these nations. Boy. Alan had told her once about the bar he worked at. Oh no. It was still a bit too early to be called night, but he might be there already. She wanted to see him right away. She wanted to see him, hit him with her true feelings, and see whether he would still accept her.
Shit.
As usual, the downtown area was filled with laborers who had finished their day's work. The bar would probably be packed with patrons. Would she really be able to miraculously find Alan amidst this swarm of drunks? She believed. If they truly loved each other, then surely. Bad. He's not good. Oh, there he is. Yuki-chan.
Alan, this is a first. I've never come to see you before.
Alan stood up with a vague smile. He had never worn such a strange expression in front of her before.
There's something I really wanted to talk to you about.
Yuki-chan, I'm so sorry. We just, had an urgent job come up. Liar. Until just a second ago, you were chatting there with your friend, weren't you? You started looking uncertain and making for the door as soon as I showed up. Wait. Please, at least listen to what I have to say. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I'll call him once his job is done. Fuck, dude! Wait! I'm sorry, I really am. I love you, Yuki-chan. See you later. It was such a rare declaration of love for him. Looking apologetic, he literally ran away from her into the crowd.
Ellen. No. It really is work, right? I'll believe you, so just this once. If you're lying, I'll despise you for the rest of your life.
Jesus. Will it be impossible for us to understand each other after all? It's impossible for the Japanese and Chinese to ever understand each other.
Is that really true? War is so cruel. Even when it's over, it never ends.
Alan, dude. Was that Yuki-chan? I mean, that sort of looked like a disaster, you know? Damn. Talk about bad timing. Yuki-chan was crying, wasn't she? Does she think I'm cold now? God damn it! File your complaints with Davis. Yeah. It's time to say goodbye to that bastard. Oh, it really was the timing. The time it took for Alfred to settle his heart was apparently far less than even Richard had guessed. Or maybe he had only avoided giving an immediate answer to irritate them. Alfred had agreed to an alliance with Primavera, on the condition that he would never speak to anyone but Richard himself. I think that's a very fair agreement. They had a very amicable discussion with each other, so I feel like that seems like a very fair condition. And with that, Davis's backing was gone. No one would find fault with a gun pointed at his forehead. Still, Alfred really did like to do things his own way. After wrapping up Davis for them, he didn't just hand him over.
My. You're quite crafty yourself. So you want to watch it from on high while Primavera shows you what she's got?
Sorry, my friend, but please, grant my wishes too. And anyway, my people have no pull on the police and MPs. If a gunfight does break out, we'll all be rounded up.
Oh, we don't want that. Alfred offered information on Davis's hiding spot, but he refused to help capture him. I feel like that's fair with Alfred's position here. He said he wanted to watch and see how Primavera finishes Davis off. However, in truth, his decision had been a prudent one made as a boss. He needed time to confirm whether his friendship with Richard was real or not. They hadn't been working together long enough for him to be sure this wasn't some sort of trap set by Richard. What if, when Alfred's group went to capture Davis, a squad of police came out of hiding and rounded them all up? At the current moment, he could still suspect Primavera on setting such a trap. Alfred made a prudent decision and only told them where Davis was. Richard realized this. They had only just begun to build trust. It would be too harsh to ask for any deeper cooperation. Yeah, no, I can totally agree with that, yeah. Should we get out around here? Sure. I was just thinking I wanted to feel the wind on my face. The car stopped on the shoulder of a road in a desolate group of storehouses. There was no one in sight. Almost like a ghost town. When they opened the car doors, a strong sea breeze blew in. There's a harbor district near the ocean. They picked up the bag and guitar case, loaded with the tools of their trade, and slowly got out of the car. Look at freaking Keith's expression here, mind you. I like it. It's totally desolate. Just perfect for our line of work. That's interesting. Why do villains always gather in places like this when their time is near? Huh, so it's like an elephant's graveyard? Villains know they can't die anywhere decent. Imagine dying in a rusty ghost town like this. Poor guy. The harbor districts were usually known as some of the busiest places even within City 23, packed with laborers and jobs. However, not all harbor districts were like that. This region, which had been haphazardly built in the very first stages of reconstruction, had then been abandoned once fully functional. New harbor resources had been constructed. In forgotten divisions like this, no one entered or left, and all that remained was a small bunch of ruins filled with rusty, dusty scrap from broken machines. It must have been a fitting hotel for a villain who wanted to lie low. Davis was hiding in an office on the second floor of an abandoned storehouse. It was a perfect spot for villains trying to evade pursuers, and plenty of that sort had used it ever since the Caleb family era. The hideout offered by Alfred was underground, so when Davis started complaining about suffocation, he remembered this place. This room was dimly lit, with the windows shut and curtains closed. They were apparently trying to defend against snipers. It was not only dark, but suffocating with body heat and the smell of sweat. In this room, Davis was in the middle of an endless fight with his woman.
You liar! You promised me a luxury hotel with a canopy bed!
There was just a little hiccup in the plan. We'll go there soon.
More lies! You said the same thing when you stuffed me in that underground room! When you said we were going somewhere with a sea breeze, I thought we'd finally be getting on a boat! What the heck is this place? So filthy and dirty and full of bugs!
I wasn't lying about the sea breeze, right? You're the one who just assumed I meant a boat!
I've had enough of your lies! I won't be fooled again, swindler! Don't touch me!
The shrill argument in the company president's room could be heard in the office next door.
Holy shit, you guys hearing that?
In the room, 5 bodyguards are playing cards and smiling wryly.
Oh, that swindler and shitty woman make a perfect couple, don't they? And anyway, what part of that suspicious bastard could she have fallen in love with?
Hey, women never admit it when they're terrible judges of character.
By the way, does that Davis bastard really have a luxury liner ready for that shitty woman? And with a canopy bed?
Oh, I bet he has. This guy's sticking a mattress under the fake floor in his smuggling container. What kind of laugh was that?
Fuck, I don't know.
The bodyguard shrugged and laughed crudely.
Still, I know we let him employ us, but he's one shitty bastard.
No, I think there's gonna be more in it for us if we just grab him and take all he's got.
Oh no, we better not. I hear he's crazy Alfred's bosom buddy, right?
Right now, they were being employed as Davis's bodyguards, but they were usually underworld loners unattached to any group. Even the underworld has a code that must be followed. These losers who couldn't even follow that code, who constantly piled up sins in their desire for drinking and gambling money, couldn't earn the trust of any family. Any higher level of villain would have refused to work as a bodyguard for scum like Davis. No amount of money would be worth guarding a man with so many enemies. At that time, they heard the metallic sound of someone coming up the outside staircase. However, they only heard one person, and he was walking with such a casual gait. And anyway, messengers from Alfred came here sometimes. So while the bodyguards did stop playing cards, they didn't seem especially tense. Someone knocked on the door with a peculiar rhythm. It was a pattern the cautious David had created to show that the person coming was an ally, which I bet Alfred taught us. It proved that whoever was knocking was connected to Alfred.
Oh, hey, we got a guest. Tell our employer. Nah, leave him be. He's in there romancing his girl. Hey, Thomas, go answer that. Might be a care package from Alfred again.
Yeah, sure thing.
That Alfred guy is actually pretty considerate. Hey, didn't you know? It's a pretty big rumor that he treats his underlings with feasts.
The man walked up the door and peered at the people. He saw a grinning young man with a large shoulder bag waving at him. He seemed a bit too annoyingly friendly for one of Alfred's men, but, well, even Even some villains are like that. Hey there.
Oh, hey there, brother. What can I do for you today?
Care package from our boss. He said to tell Davis hi.
Oh, I see. I'm opening up.
Normally, the bodyguards would have been a bit more cautious. However, he had used the knocking signal, and Alan's friendly smile had basically set the mood, so the men opened the door amiably. Hey there, brother. Damn, it's hot in here. That's what happens when you pack this many people into a hole like this. The cool outside air feels great. Hey, shouldn't you get a little ventilation? I mean, how many of you guys got packed in here?
5. I mean, well, 7 if you count our employer and his woman. He just loves to work up a good sweat. Can't get enough of this stench.
His woman said not to open the window because the sea breeze will damage her hair.
And this is the girl hoping to set off on a voyage across the ocean?
Oh, so where is this employer of yours? Boss did say to check on him to see how he was doing. He's having a grand old time with his woman right now. Can't you hear their happy voices? Fuck you! Yeah, I've been able to hear that shrill argument even from the stairs outside. Alan gave a wry smile and shrugged. Hey, good work. That's far enough. I'll take your package here. Our employer gave strict orders that no one can be let in. Really? Here you go then. Careful, it's pretty heavy. Whoa! That feels like one hell of a care package. Hey, there's bread and snacks and stuff. Pretty nice of you guys. The bodyguards set aside their card game and gathered around the bag which had been set on the floor. Hey, is this water? Now there's a lifesaver for my parched throat in this heat. Your boss is as gracious as the rumors say. Well, yeah.
Still, you're an annoyingly friendly guy, aren't you? I bet you only just started living the life of a villain. People like you rarely last 3 months.
Either that or they turn into crazy big-time villains. Yeah. Well, then I guess that makes me the latter. Suckers! Booyah! Ooh, this music playing right now. Is it just me, or does he kind of have like this look of butler, you know? In like some of these images, like a butler or a battler feel from this. Alright. Woo! What's that? Let go of me, bitch! Help me! Help me! What's going on? I don't want to die! I don't want to die! They said let go! As the woman instinctively grabbed onto him, Davis unrestrainedly punched her in the face and finally pushed her away. Okay, time to kill him! Davis moved fast. Apparently he already had an escape route planned for emergencies. If he went out that window and moved to the roof of the next storehouse over, he could dash across and slide down a rain guard to where a car was waiting. However, he apparently had no intention of bringing the girl with him. Of course not. The girl realized that Davis was planning to abandon her and run away alone, so she made a half-mad grab for him. However, she got punched again and was slammed against the wall, her nose bleeding. Fuck you! So long, bitch. You ain't elegant enough for a man like me. Don't leave me on my own here! Davis! The bullet didn't hit her. However, she realized that Davis hadn't been aiming to miss. Ignoring the woman who had fallen down onto her butt, Davis opened the curtains on the window. Wow, you are Class A scum! No one can stop me! Oh yeah? We'll see about that. Nighty-night, loser. A splash of blood flew under the wall behind Davis. Something dark red dripped from his left eye, and he lifelessly fell backward like a billboard toppling over. After witnessing the moment a human transformed into a blood-filled bag of skin, the woman let out a frantic shriek. Uh-oh! Still got one more battle to deal with over here. Oh boy. Give it up, brothers. If you lie low until this Davis business cools down, you won't have to be erased. Or do you want to go through with this till the end?
You joker! Did this guy buzz his way in here alone?
We got the numbers! Give the signal and Evan will come pouring in here to finish this!
Enough, you guys. Your guns are shaking. You aren't really suited to being villains. You wouldn't last 3 months, yeah? The men who were trying to play tough finally learned what a true villain of the underworld was like, and for the first time, they quivered in fear. They now knew a true killer. Someone who could ruthlessly pull the trigger without letting his carefree smile slip for a moment. Was it a team of the ruthless sniper Keith and Alan, who was just there to lighten the mood? Not at all. Only the dead knew the truth. They knew who was the true killer, who could carry out a job with utter cold-bloodedness.
Now! Die, bastard! Die, die, die!
Alright. Well, you brought this on yourself, just letting you know that, by the way. I'll be sure to shoot you up real good. Told you. Alright, let's go for a... Bye-bye.
Wait, we surrender! Don't shoot!
Hey, I gave you a chance already. Didn't your mother ever tell you to put your gun down before you surrender? Don't blame me. This is just work for both of us. After checking that the bodyguards are done for, Alan slowly approached the president's room. Then, cautiously holding his gun at the ready, he slowly opened the door. From inside, he could hear the choked voice of a sobbing woman. Hey there, young miss. Don't misunderstand, okay? I'm not here for your life. You're going to kill me too, aren't you? You're gonna kill me, right? She seemed to be half deranged. Alan smiled amiably, trying to calm her down somehow, but apparently it didn't work. Then he cautiously approached Davis, who was lying by the window with its flapping curtains. Pulled a picture from his pocket and compared it to the dead face. Confirmed as Davis DeGala. Thanks to Keith's superb sniping, he had been switched off like a light bulb. Whew, nice going. Not easy to hit him so cleanly in this wind. Alan complimented Keith by giving a thumbs up, which the latter could probably see. At that moment, it felt as though a beetle's wings had brushed against his ear. Realizing that a bullet just passed near his face, Alan fell to the floor. At the same time, the figure of a woman fell down behind him. The forehead of Davis's half-mad woman had also been pierced by a bullet at Keith's. Oh! Oh! There was now a handgun in her hands. Alan had dropped his guard when he saw her half-mad and crying and had turned his back to check Davis's corpse. Nice save, Keith! So the woman had snuck up behind him, gun in hand. Whew, scary. If we weren't a pair, I don't know me how many times I would have died. Looks like dinner's on Alan tonight. Sure thing! I'll treat you to something great! Neither could hear the other, but they both knew what the other was saying. Alan and Keith had finally succeeded in eliminating Davis. Damn right. I should have more free time, right? With Davis gone, everything else would proceed as Primavera had arranged. Later, Richard and Butler's subordinates would make contact with the Association of Opposition faction. They told them that Davis was a swindler who had taken their money and run away. When they mentioned that Davis was wanted in several other cities, that faction turned their backs on him immediately. Nicely done.
I told you I wasn't sure we could trust that man.
You see, it's not like we were ever trying to cause trouble for this association of countrymen. We were just...
He probably told you to leave it all to him since he could handle both of our groups. It's no trick of his.
Claiming to mediate trouble while actually fanning the flames before running away with the money. Huh. It's habitual crime for him.
How terrible! So, Richard-san, we were fooled by that man?
In the first place, we should talk to each other directly to solve issues between them. We don't need an intermediary anymore. There's no need for such a suspicious man as him. What would be best for all our countrymen living in City 23? That is what we need to discuss together at our leisure.
Indeed.
As soon as their leader was gone, things moved quickly. Even they had found Davis a bit suspicious. They had formed an opposing faction because Davis stood at the brunt of all the attacks. But none of them wanted to get in a fight with Primavera directly. Of course.
It seems that man fooled us good. My, how embarrassing.
My hope is that we will form a city where our Japanese countrymen can continue to live inside Tokyo. To do that, we must have a foundation to make deals on an even playing field with American and Chinese merchants.
Yes, quite true. Quite true. I have no reason to doubt you anymore. Merchants must be the servants of all, supporting the lifestyles of the people. We have no intention of withholding our support for the sake of our countrymen. Yes, indeed!
After this, dealings and bribes proceeded as planned, and it was expected that the establishment of a City 23 Distribution Association would pass easily. Davis did make quite a mess of things, but he was useful in just one way. And that was building a list of those in the opposing faction. Even if the establishment vote passed, those people would probably continue to hold a grudge. Having a list of people to watch for from the beginning was huge, definitely. Now they probably just have to take their time and make those people agree from the bottom of their hearts. Party time?
We've got the okay from President Seto, too. He agreed that it was a misunderstanding and promised to cooperate. Still, that Davis guy really made them think we were nasty.
We're outcasts after all. It's easy to make people believe things about us that may or may not be true.
Thanks, Stella. Thanks to you, we managed to resolve a lot of misunderstandings. If there's something even I can manage to do, it's not a job you have to do. Please leave the club to Meryl and leave to me all those things you shouldn't have to do. I'm truly grateful, Stella. I've got to keep trying harder. It's the other way around. Please take it easier and easier.
I agree. The fight you're fighting isn't yours alone.
Yeah, brother's right. This is a fight for all of us. So, we can't let you steal away all the good parts for yourself. Anyway, sorry, I've got to move on to my next appointment. See you later. I think you might be better at negotiations than me, Stella. I've got to learn from you. The most important skill for a lady of the evening is understanding a person's emotions to control them, isn't it? By the name of Primavera's #1, I've got to cleverly convince them to.
It seems you're living life to the fullest. But make sure you get enough rest.
Of course. See you later, Rose. Wayne, could you find someone to get a car?
You working hard?
Of course.
Rose worked so hard she fainted, right? You better make sure you work that hard too, okay? It's crazy here for me too. Now I've got to deal with all those problems you just left sitting around.
You better work until you drop too.
Hey, your car's here, so go knock yourself out.
You too. Go and get knocked out.
Of course. Frantic deals of deal making. Frantic deals of day making, because clearly that's how, I swear, I know how to English, I swear. Fucking damn it. Frantic days of deal making. The young execs ran about to the best of their ability. Though it was still half-formed, they could feel a sense that everyone was steadily moving forward. And so Madame Rose's plan moved another step forward. Gathering a distribution net in City 23's Japanese community into a single unit was a massive project. By managing matters so that no particular camp gained too much power over distribution, they would be able to preemptively stop economic domination by those with malicious intent. To each individual merchant, it may have been unpleasant, as though their ability to exercise personal judgment had been stolen. However, if they placed too heavy an emphasis on commercialism in the long run, they would end up selling away their ability for discretion. Merchants have been tempted by the foreign wealth offered by Wong in exactly that way, when they tried to sell City 23 away. Even to Rose, it was undesirable that personal rights should be suppressed to serve others. However, she also thought that matters should be managed so that personal rights taken too far didn't harm the rights of her countrymen as a whole. Now, in the 21st century, controlling personal rights in such a way would probably be denounced as totalitarianism. Furthermore, since these decisions were being made by Madame Rose alone, it would probably even be viewed as a dictatorship. Especially since Madame Rose had never been elected to any position. However, now that they had become a minority after the Great Disaster and losing the war, liberalism and democracy weren't necessarily appropriate. Such ideologies only work in nations that have seen a certain level of prosperity. When a house everyone lives in catches on fire, can the situation be resolved by liberalism and democracy? With liberalism, which prioritizes the rights of individuals, everyone would try to escape first, and everything would end up burnt to a crisp. And with democracy, the whole house would burn down while everyone was debating how best to resolve the situation. When a race is possibly on the brink of destruction, dictatorships and totalitarianism can deal with the situation faster. Right now, the Japanese colony in Tokyo truly was becoming a house that was half burned down. In that sense, you might say it was wrong to criticize Madame Rose as being dictatorial and totalitarian. In any event, it was an undeniable fact that a truly interesting colony was forming in this corner of Tokyo under a single charismatic leader.
And as a result, we have approved the establishment of the City 23 Japanese Countrymen Distribution Association.
Although there were a few blank votes, there were no votes in opposition. The establishment was approved by an overwhelming yes vote. Those who had been dashing about to support this vote went around shaking hands and hugging, complimenting each other.
Congratulations on the vote, Madame Rose. Oh, thank you. Now there are no more problems remaining on our end. It looks like it. Now we only have to deal with issues between us.
I would like to move forward slowly and surely in dealing with those issues.
There's no need for you anymore. We women will handle the rest.
That will not do. For the sake of our countrymen, the GDS must not withdraw.
Please stop using that stiff sort of Japanese speech, okay? It's getting pretty annoying.
Seems even the Black Dragon Meiju is no match for his little sister.
Your little sister had quite a big role too, Richard-kun. Without Stella, I don't think we'd ever have gotten so many votes.
In a limited span of time, Stella had formed an acquaintanceship with many businessmen and negotiated with them. At first, they had looked down on her as a former lady of the evening, but she sleeplessly studied all the information in numbers. She then used her trained techniques of controlling people's hearts as a weapon to win their respect. Damn! You go, girl! Even now, she was walking amongst those who had supported this vote, shaking hands and hugging.
Winning the vote was one thing, but doing it with such a large percentage is significant.
Yeah. It's a big deal when we can use numbers to see how united everyone is.
Congratulations, Madame Rose.
Oh my! Thank you very much for your efforts, Lieutenant.
Oh, where's the captain today?
My apologies, but he's running a little late. The truth is, there's a man the captain wanted to introduce to all of you today.
Oh, shit.
Who could it be? Is it a friend of the captain's?
Perhaps it is the rumored Major, the special officer commissioned for the purpose of eliminating organized crime. Very good. We set up several appointments, hoping to have an audience with him, but we can never get through.
The same goes for me. Perhaps he was always busy, for I have never heard him speak.
Of course. Why would a major commission for eliminating organized crime meet with the Mafia?
Meishu, this matter involves us. You must go over there. That was slightly offensive.
What's up with Meishu? She looked mad.
I don't have siblings, so I'm a bit jealous.
Well, there are times that I am jealous of you.
I don't really get it, but I'll take it to mean that brother is bad-mouthing me.
You misunderstood. Oh God! Ow!
I'm starting to see why Richardson and I get along so well.
Brothers and family, huh? I'm jealous.
Wayne, who always stood in wait behind Rose, was probably the only one who heard her talking to herself. He finally understood. There was no doubt that Rose was a saint with noble ideals. However, she really was a human, not an angel. Come to think of it, even Wayne had never heard about Rose's family. He'd heard once that her father was Greek, but he didn't know anything else. Who had ever taken notice of the loneliness of this person, who always reached out a helping hand to the lonely? On that day, Wayne finally understood. Rose is no angel. She was human. In her ideal world where countrymen gathered together like a big family, she must never have felt any family position for herself.
How foolish I've been. How foolish. I never noticed the loneliness of the person who saved my lonely self. Rose-san,
What is it?
we can do it. We can all become a single family.
Thanks, Wayne-kun. But I have a family of my own. After all, you're the first family I ever had.
At those words, Wayne decided to dedicate the rest of his life to her. Even now, when he's known as the Consigliere, he has never forgotten the words and the smile from that day. Aww. Pardon me, but he has arrived. Seems the captain and major are here. This is no place to talk, so perhaps we can move to a different room.
Major Gabriel Kaburaya, was it? Oh, if only we'd known we'd get a chance to meet him today. We could have at least brought him a greeting present.
Lieutenant, would it be possible for me to meet him as well?
Yes, please do. The major seemed to want to meet you, too.
If so, he might have met with me earlier.
You probably wanted to study us thoroughly before meeting.
I see. I see. I do hope he was not frightened.
Meiju and Richard laughed together in Chinese. The lieutenant who didn't understand what they were saying smiled politely. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
I'll go to greet him too. That's okay, right? I'll have to introduce you as my aide. I do hope he's the type you're good at dealing with.
Leave it to me. As long as he has I can wrap him around my little finger.
Please refrain from speaking that way in front of the major.
Everyone, this way, please.
Here it comes.
Oh boy.
Hey there, everyone. Please, let me apologize for not greeting you sooner. Also, I would like to offer my heartfelt congratulations on your successful vote in passing the City 23 Japanese Countrymen Distribution Association. My, what a dashing major.
It would take quite a shrewd man to become a major so young.
Phil, what did they say in Japanese?
Oh, what a surprise. You can't speak Japanese, Major Kaburaya?
My father said that learning Japanese would worsen my pronunciation of L's and R's.
Ah, that explains your good pronunciation. They weren't saying anything in particular. Just talking about how you're so hot it's making them wet. Jesus!
I never knew it could be so unpleasant to be spoken up by someone right in front of you in a language other than in English. This is quite a precious experience.
It's an honor to have you join us in a place like this, Major.
Pleased to meet you, Miss Rose Hayabara. I am Gabriel Kaburaya. Greetings.
Well, it must have been difficult for a man of Japanese descent to rise to the rank of major in your country.
Not at all. The question is whether or not you pledge allegiance to the Stars and Stripes. That's all it takes to become a member of the family known as the States.
Gabriel smiled, but Rose's eyes sensed no warmth there. She realized that he was probably prejudiced against her as a mafia boss, which added some hostility to his gaze. However, as two fellow humans, it was surely possible for them to understand each other. Rose shook his offered hand. His hand was a beautiful transparent white, yet frigid as though it was made of porcelain.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Major. I'm Lee Meiju, and I run City 23's Chinatown. Black Dragon Lee, was it? Quite a terrifying nickname you have. It feels like being asked to shake hands with a viper. Not terrifying at all. After all, you are the eagle which eats vipers. A pleasure to meet you. Would that young lady happen to be your little sister, Miss Lee Meishu? No, this is Miss Stella Maogi. This is the younger sister of Mr. Richard Maogi, Primavera's consigliere. It's an honor to meet you, Major Gabriel Kaburaya. I'm Stella Maogi. My apologies, and I'd even tried to memorize you from your picture earlier. It seems the beauty of the genuine article surpasses any picture. Please, forgive me.
She's my aide and involved in negotiation work. She's very reliable.
What a shame. Now I can't come to the club to play with Stella-chan anymore.
There are plenty more cute girls to your liking, Captain. Please patronize them as well.
Please allow me to greet you as well, Major. I'm Richard, the consigliere. A pleasure.
The pleasure is mine. I hear you've supported Madame Rose for a long time as her advisor. I've heard the efforts of the Maogi siblings have been essential to Primavera's current prosperity.
Not at all. We feel we've hardly done enough and intend to devote ourselves further.
So, Mr. Lee, is Miss Meishu not here today? She's been so busy with work. You have my sincere apologies. You are here as a special officer commissioned for the purpose of eliminating organized crime, so I assumed there would be no need for my sister to attend. Ah, that's right. She isn't a member of the GDS now, is she?
Gabriel spoke with Rose on several harmless topics. When Rose explained her theory for building a world where Americans, Chinese, and Japanese could all live together, Gabriel nodded with an angelic smile. Rose, Richard, and Stella seemed to be working hard to converse in a way that would get the Major to like them. Meiju joined in, but he seemed a bit cool. That metaphor of his about snakes and eagles, he sensed that there was something blocking any chance of compatibility. He could sense it thanks to the time he'd spent starting up from nothing in the criminal underworld. He's basically got like a sixth sense to this sort of thing. And he pitied Rose and the others who were trying to curry favor with this man without realizing. However, there's no helping it. In this Japan, our China is on a completely equal playing field with America. So, we can analyze our opponents coolly. However, to Japan, America is a superior country they have to earn the affection of.
I cannot get along well with this man. I was right not to bring Meishu here.
Though Meiju thought this, he smiled politely.
Thank you, Phil. It's been proven now that you spoke to me quite honestly.
I wouldn't want to deal with that punishment you were talking about.
Today, when I saw their faces, all the pieces came together inside my head. I finally understand Primavera and the GDS.
Oh?
As you say, it seems Primavera's actual business is being handled by the Maogi siblings, not Madame Rose. Going by Madame Rose's appearance, I would say that she may still be doing actual work, but is trying to retire from the front lines.
When it comes down to it, she's still a normal, frail girl. It's pretty incredible that she's worked as a mafia leader. Well, I guess it's like chivalry. Wouldn't you rather serve a spunky princess than a frail king?
In other words, she's a symbol. A beautiful princess can stir up the masses just by combing her hair in a tower. However, I have no intention of letting my guard down. That lady still is the mastermind behind the nighttime incident of roses and guns, yes.
She may not look it, but she gets really fired up when the going gets tough. Even if she loses Richard, that won't shake her.
I imagine not. We can't take her lightly. She's dangerous. Then, we have the GDS. This young lord character hardly seems the type to dance on the palm of my hand.
They leave City 23 entirely to Meiju. And they have a lot of Chinese military officers behind them.
He's untouchable. So our foe will be Li Meiju after all. And with today's meeting, I've become certain. Meiju's weakness is his little sister, Meishu.
Well, Meiju, Richard, all the big brothers of the world have little sisters as their weakness, I guess. After all, they're the first enemies those creatures known as Big Brothers face in this world.
So, little sisters. How truly interesting. At times like this, I'm sure there's a god.
Oh, are you going to start saying you also wanted a cute little sister? You'd better give up on that dream. Would you like to borrow my little sister for 3 days? Oh wait, 3 days won't be enough. I'm sure she'd just play nice for that long.
This is truly a most interesting turn of events.
Apparently, Butler's idle banter didn't even reach Gabriel's ears. With a smile that didn't expose anything going on in his heart, Gabriel stared at his own eyes and reflection in the window. I have a Descent of the Hell's Angel, Chapter 2, and I don't like where this is going. I really don't like where this is going. I'm getting like this sick feeling that to get to the higher-ups, he's going to target the little sisters, the people that they're close to the higher-ups. And that's bad. That's like really fucking bad. I would rather... I don't want to think about it. Okay. I'm getting an idea of what I have a very sick feeling I know what Gabriel is going to do. And again, I really don't want to... No. I feel like this meeting that just took place is going to be, gonna lead to some really bad stuff. I think it was actually a very smart idea for Meiju not to bring his sister. Because... Shit, wait. Oh. He's got their pictures, so he's been trying to study the pictures for a while. Shit. So that probably means that he does... No, wait a minute. He doesn't have a picture of Meiju because he mistook Stella for, Meiju's sister. So, I guess Meiju made a smart decision not letting Meishu be participating in this. Because now Gabriel has no idea what Meishu actually looks like, which, that's good. That's really, really good. But that doesn't mean that Stella's in the clear. He's probably going to target... If I had to guess, he'll probably target her first, and then he'll target Richard afterwards. Just to get to Rose. I'm not liking this Gabriel guy. I don't like the feeling he gives me. But I'm going to end it there, so if you all like this, be sure to let me know. I apologize for the shortness of this one, but thank you all very much for watching, and I will definitely see all of you guys in the next video.
I really don't like this.